Angels of light and love, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, my work, my health and wellness. My meeting today, my special meeting with the judge and opposing counsel and my ex today, and all the other wonderful things that are supposed to come along with that package. That package deal, please. Yes, I have not been able to go to sleep. I don't understand what's wrong with me, or if this is part of the process. Like I thought I would get like 2 to 3 hours under my belt, maybe 5 if I was lucky, and then I would just like go like dive into this paperwork stuff. And I have not gotten a drop of sleep. I worked my full 8-hour shift, and I don't understand why I can't get sleep. I set my alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning, for 5 o'clock in the morning, and I still have not been able to really, like, I asked for sleep. I asked for help to go to sleep. I've regulated my breathing, and my thoughts are just running rampant all over the place and off topic and worse on topic. And it's like I think I'm supposed to mess up. I don't know. But I came to the conclusion that if I'm gonna get in trouble, then I'm gonna get in trouble correctly, which means that the judge is gonna tell me, like, straight up. And if I upset her or, like, irritate her because of not knowing or not having it all together, then at least I know from, like, a true source, like, what the expectations are, like, what the rules are, what the due dates are. And even though it might be very well irritating for her, at least it'll, like, I mean, I've invested so many hours. I've invested so many hours into this thing, and so many resources. And there were a couple of times tonight that I caught myself, like, crying a little bit, but then it, like, stopped after it felt like, oh my God, like, what do you call it? A maiden, like, I forget what you call it. There's a phrasing for it. A damsel in distress. Yeah, dude. So when I caught myself, like, almost, it was just kind of instantaneous when I kind of gasped at, like, it was overwhelming, and then it stopped. It was, so I don't know. Oh, I asked my guides. But I think I'm supposed to mess up. Like, the only thing that I feel like I didn't do was not burn the sage, rosemary, and, the thing that I was told to do, and wrap certain strings around it. I just wanted things to come naturally, And I even shut off the lights. Like, I normally don't shut off the lights. And gosh, it was like, it's only been like, when I looked at the clock, it was 4 minutes and 14 seconds. And, like, it feels like I've been talking forever. So, like, this long stretch of time is just like, I just don't want to spend any more time to know that I'm going to have to do a do-over. So if I'm told a certain, from like the true source of who's going to be assessing things, then at least I know I'm so much closer to getting it right. And I'm going to know whether or not there's exceptions, or like what to drop, like what's like a dead horse. so I don't have to beat it. And so I don't know. I just figured I would go with all of it. Like, I don't even feel tired, but I know I'm supposed to be tired, so I forced myself to go to sleep, but it's not even happening. So what's over here, Spirit? I think I need to clean up my space a bit. I was doing some from previous readings. So what is this? The Sexual Magic Tarot. I'm just trying to like get what's close at hand. And what's this one? It is the Three of Wands in reverse. What the frick does that mean? That means my ships are here. Like, I'm not waiting for them anymore. They're here. So the time has come. All right, so I'll use that. The time is like, seriously, like a few hours from now. And like, I don't know if I'm afraid, but like, it's just like the clock is ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking. So what the heck is this? Four of Pentacles. Time to take ownership. Time to take command. Where did that go? Fell behind me. And it's still an upright. So that's telling me that time is passing. And even though like this dropped in the dark and like kind of behind me, it still fell upright. So the things that are coming into, I think these roadblocks, are coming into fruition because it's part of me knowing when to trust myself. I know that I came to that conclusion, but it was just so much of an afterthought rather than an actual like live sentient like resource, like definite. You can put your money on that, And so I think that's why I ran into so many shisty people. I don't even know what the true definition of shisty is, but I know it's supposed to be somebody who's who like what swindles you. I know that's such an old-fashioned word, but like who cheats you, who's like wrong in their motivations, shady. I think that's what it is. Yeah. And so what are we saying here? Yeah, so I think by the way, I gotta say, I'm gonna call out this person. Is it okay to call out this person, Spirit? The one that supposedly helped me, like, so, what are your thoughts on it, Spirit? It is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I can hold it up to the light. I mean, look, you see? What I see is what I see, and it is correct. I went to the court sometime last week to file the paperwork that I thought I had served properly, that I did, and then I told you I ran into that person, this like random person supposedly, and she dropped the name, and she was just telling me basically all the same things that she was going through. I mean, like, I just started asking her questions, and she said she filed back, 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, same with me. And it was like, oh, you have 2 kids? Oh, same with me. It just seemed like so, pinpointed accurate. So I was like, oh, this is kind of one of those, messages that I'm supposed to receive. Like, put the right people on my path type of thing. And so I went along with it, and she just seemed so happy with like how the things, her stuff was going. She got this, she got that, but it was like, humbly speaking, you know, she didn't even want the spousal support, which is, I'm like, same with me. I didn't even want it. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just wanted to like, you know, cut things off and like go in our separate ways and make things easier. And then so she ended up getting it because like he turned all like sour on her or whatever. And I'm like, same with me. And it was just like, so I thought it was all trustworthy, but it was just too good to be true, of course. Because when I had to set up an appointment with her, I had like two whole days, not including the weekend, to connect with her. And I thought it was like a matter of her like her part of her introduction and setting boundaries, and like, you know, when people like when you're dating somebody or something, like there's this like massive rule, like you're not supposed to call them when after you exchange numbers, like in the first like 3 days or something, like, or you're not supposed to kiss on the first date, that kind of thing. So I thought that was what applied within the legal realm. And so she set it for like Monday or Tuesday. That's what the options that she gave me. But to devote an hour and a half like time for me, like nearly 2 hours, because I wasn't given the direction, that says a lot. Like those are two conflicting details, you know what I mean? As far as setting boundaries and then like being like bleh with them. And so I think she purposefully, because I told her that the opposing counsel was doing discovery, and she's like, wait, they're not supposed to be doing that. Like you know, like it's too late to be doing that. Once a trial date is set, there's like 45 days or something like that. And then so I thought that I would have enough time, or like it was already expired, but if it was legit, that she would know the deadlines of when it would be time to respond. So when I sat with her on Monday, like very end of the day, while she was calculating it, you could tell she had some like thought processes in her head, but she never told me the exact date. But she was just like, I think she made it obvious that she was buying time so that I would miss the due date, like that I would be so fixated on like this like gem of like a resource, that she purposefully did that. And she made me like diverted my attention towards reporting my previous counsel to the OC bar. Like, okay, that's a for sure thing. Like she was validating that so that I would not be spending time on this other stuff that she was trying to steer me away from. So like I have to be like I have to give my my divinations, like my realizations, my downloads, some heavy weight. Like, I am so good at what I do, why can't I use that in such a practical manner? And so they're saying that like what you see is very real. You have to remember what kind of a world you live in and the figures that are in place and what they would be willing to do to save their own asses. And so this person from OC Legal, her name is Cynthia. And she's based out in Lake Forest. And so I can call her out because she's so willing to like, it's horrible. You know what I mean? Like, I have helpers and that's like data to, you know, if you can help me out here, that would be wonderful. I know that you're already helping me out, but like in such a manner, like what's the lead on that? It's a strength card. Holy smokes. You see? That thing about, you know, that investment, it turned into a fucking lion. Do you see that? Enough for two to hold. When it, you know, it's being put on blast basically, because that is for real. For somebody, She was telling me intimate details about other people's court cases. I thought she was going to give me examples a little bit, like certain templates of like, but she was like, major distractions. Nobody that gets paid 100, that charges $165 an hour, is going to give an hour and a half for free. I mean, I guess unless you're me and you're doing whatever the fuck I'm doing, you know, but, like, nobody does that, like, on an intimate one-to-one level. They'll do it, like, on a public service type of, like, charity thing, but on a one-to-one level without knowing the person, for sure. So, okay, 1537 here. We're getting someone here. 9 of Wands in reversal. So, I don't know if this is putting up your guard or needing to let it down. Is it a prompt, or is it something that, like a prompt to, yeah, what kind of a prompt is that, Spirit? Oh, that's the book. I almost got the book. That's funny. Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so there's, this is very sobering. This is not, what do you call it? There's no romance in this stuff. Like, the romance, the chivalry is dead in here. Like, dry, shriveled up, dead, disintegrated, pulverized, gone. It's dead. Okay? So, what this is saying is, to put up my guard. That's a prompt, okay? So put up my guard, okay? Because there are people wanting to take me down, like certain organizations, because of what I can do, and the truths that I've told. But it's like, dude, that's your own karma. You know what I mean? I didn't do that shit. I just went, bum, 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 you know. 2 of yeah, there's dissonance. 2 of Cups in reverse. So people are so eager to like point the finger, and I think just people are due for a reality check. So, okay. So, okay. I don't want to ask what I'm supposed to expect from the judge today. I don't want to ask. I don't want to put myself through double time, like, worry or like overconfidence, or I just want to go with the flow of it. Like, whatever, just surprise me, Spirit, okay? Surprise me with whatever it is. I will humble myself and I will speak to her like a real person, and show the same respect that I'm supposed to in formalities, but yeah. So the main goal here for me is, if I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble the right way. And I'm excited about that, just because, like, I'm so much closer to the answer. King of Pentacles in reverse. Is that not industrious, Spirit? Or is it like I can be all in with that? Is that the Spirit? Like, I don't know if, I know this is a learning experience for me, but are you telling me that's not the way to go? Like, I can already see morning coming out. Like, it's not darkness anymore. Like, the light is coming through. And stuff. What time is it? 1911? What's next here? Page of Cups in reverse. And they're saying, you gotta hand it to yourself, Tina. You're pulling a Tina. And you gotta love yourself for it, okay? Regardless of what anybody else thinks in whatever position. But I think perhaps they might not be amused. She might not be amused by it. And I don't think that's the goal as far as amusement. I think it's the reality check, that a reminder that she's working with humans here, who don't always have a JD or the funds to support paying off an increment of what it costs to take on a JD. Like the overhead, you know what I mean? That's basically what it feels like. I don't know, one more clarifier for that, Spirit. Okay, what is this? Six of Pentacles. So there's going to be a give and take. There's a reciprocation of, I mean, it's going to be treated like a mediation. So I think, I mean, this thing is just is formalized as a checkpoint to see if we have all the documents in and what's remaining. That's all that it is. And I kept reminding myself, like, this is just paperwork. The Spirit just reminded me, like, constantly reminded me, anytime you get stressed, remember that, like, there's somebody, like, on the higher end, like, you know, passed on loved ones, or, you know, Spirit, you know, Jesus. Like, there are so many world problems, you know, not just within this era, but like in previous, and, you know, what's, you know, there's so many bigger things. Like, you should not be stressing yourself out over, you know, a real life common circumstance. They're saying happenstance. I don't even know what that means. But you this is just something that you need to follow through with and learn from, simultaneous to the dissolution of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's really it. It's paperwork, Tina. You have so much more to look forward to, and that's going for you. Just, you have to kind of take it as a matter of process, and if we're going to reduce it to its incremental portion in our lives, a process of elimination to get you closer to where you're, you know, to your higher path. I mean, I accepted this because I'm like, dude, I can't do any single day. Like, I forgot how bad it was. Like, I forgot really, really how bad it was. I was stuck in my room. I couldn't eat the same. I couldn't trust whatever he was making as far as food. I couldn't, like, go downstairs to, like, even wash just dishes or, like, warm up food without feeling like, not feeling, but, like, without the promise that he will not, you know, harass me or, like, talk shit to me. And, like, I always had to really, really walk on eggshells just to be within the same space just for a few seconds. And to know that this very same person is trying to, like, steal my home to claim more than what he should, and to be a total dick to our kids unless he's being monitored for story time with the courts. It's like, I've come a long way not to feel anger or resentment now. I'm just trying to process things, like, no, you, like, kind of in a jury stance, like, no, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about what you're doing. and keeping my cool within it all. So with the Six of Pentacles showing up here, it's just showing me that I have all the intangibles that could possibly, like, that could carry me through at any given point in time, so that I can still, like, share. I can still think about, like, mediation. I could still think about, the give and take. But number one, with how much I've conveyed, knowing that with suspicions, but I truly know that the opposing counsel has seen my work here. I just know he has several times, and that he's learned a few things, and some is still, like, in gestation. But simply knowing that I can't trust whatever game he's playing at, like, I'm not supposed to trust him. He's had years and years and, like, hundreds of cases where there's a desensitizing factor. There's a lack of moral fiber. So knowing that things take time, I can't just, like, say, like, oh, I gave him this much to go on to advance his future and his soul, but and expect that he would be fair in these proceedings. Like, I'm not supposed to. That would be stupid of me to do that. So anyway, so the King of Pentacles in reverse is kind of foolish. It's poor investments. I mean, looking at it in its, like, kind of like bleh terms, it's but if you look at it as someone who's has a good head on his shoulders, one standing upright, so much so in practice that he can get, hung up a little bit, but he can go with the flow of it and be objective to the situation. He just goes with the flow of it. So his investments are basically all in with the remainder that that he has. So the Page of Cups in reversal is like, you got to give yourself some accolades for being put in a situation where you're, like, hung up to dry, after being, like, painted out to be a wet blanket, or like somebody rained on your parade, your cozy atmosphere. And so, when people treat you like things, whether that's professional, romantic, or, like, what do you call it? Platonic, or whatever the case, when they treat you like a thing, you have to, like, step back anyway, because that there's a natural objection. They've already ostracized you from worthiness, you know what I mean? So, like, it's a natural, like, occurrence that you just have to fly with, even if you're, like, pinned down. So the Six of Pentacles here is it's already being sustained. They're saying objection sustained. What does that even mean? Objection sustained. I've got to look that up. I don't know if court talk. Okay. What is all right, so what is this one? Six of Swords. Okay. So master number 66 here, coming in back to back like that. But it's like almost like the ships are coming in twofold. So this is, if you're in something where like it's a separation, a dissolution, to whatever sorts that is, it's also signifying things that we do not usually comprehend as holding sentience. So like if you're separating yourself from a project or whatever, when we're seeing Six of Swords here, with the ships right there, you see, like our ships, like things are coming to a simmer, you know what I mean? Like, I think we're looking for, like, there was a rolling boil. It's like an inverse thing. I don't know, like, that's what I'm being shown here. But this is like our ships coming in twofold for both parties. So for each party involved, there's a recognition of fertility, like precious cargo. So when we look at it, it's like we can move on with our lives. It's just one step closer to moving on with our lives. And so if we're looking at projects, let's say, there are certain things that we need to take care of, so we put this thing on a back burner. But the ships that are coming in, it's like that project or whatever it is that we're working on, like we've been working on, that's like a passion project. There are things coming into fruition that like are coming into gestation. So all the things that we're learning, like while we're working on other things, this natural separation, we're also collecting other like experiences that will assist with the gestation of this thing coming to life. So yeah, so this is very good. Yeah, so there's like a boil, a rolling boil, like simmer, and then it like comes to like peace. It's like peace out. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Okay, interesting. So 32 and 10 on there, 32, 10 here. So what is this? A magician. Okay, so this is a magician like Kali style. So 4 arms. Thanks for showing up, Kali. Thanks for being like awesome. And then there's 4 legs also here. So this is showing that we're ambidextrous and multitaskers. So there's many things that we can do. So even though this may be like a very sobering type of check-in, it will be humbling and rewarding to be able to refer to to prepare for the expectations of what's coming along from a solid source. Yeah. Okay. So the people that are helping me out, like for reals, it's like, dude, I like what do you call it, tentatively called in for today because I didn't know if I was going to be able to work my 10 to 2 shift. I kind of just knew because of the paperwork that I could only work an evening shift. The manager that I had spoken with, he was completely hands off on just making this little change. And I'm just shocked at this, like his bio, reading that he's into spirituality. And that's nothing of the sort. It is insane to me. He's like the least likely person to engage in that. I mean, I was first off excited to meet him when I saw like the short bios of each, person. But like, dude, nothing of the sort. It's nothing of the sort. So it's like opposite day there. It's so weird. It's opposite day there, like 24/7. And yesterday when I was at work, that guy that I told you that fucked up in his marriage, and you could totally tell, like, so he's a double talker, and just like, everybody knows that he fucked up. Everybody knows. And that he's weak. Like, that's why he does what he does. Yet they still take advantage of him. Like it's a self-perpetuating type of thing. And so he was handling a customer that was giving me massive accolades. Actually, it was the day before yesterday, yeah. Massive accolades, just complimenting me left and right. And I wasn't engaged in the thing. I was just like in close proximity. So every time he would give a compliment, this customer, the dude would talk over him, like, immediately, like, I don't want to hear it, like that kind of thing. It was funny. I mean, I was kind of entertained by like how obvious, the obvious defiance, and even just listening to such a thing. So anyway, but I see like his behaviors, how he tries to pull the same ish of like trying to make friends with other people. And like the smartest ones know what game he's playing at, but they just like go through the motions with him just because, like, it, whatever's whatever, like, so anyway, they treat him as though he's just somebody to feel sorry for. So if that makes him happy and makes him feel like in control, then let him think that, like he won't bother me if like I just play along with his game. That's how they tolerate him. I don't know. This has been coming through. What is this? Hangman in reverse. Yeah. So there's a certain awareness, like absolute awareness in all of that, like awareness of your surroundings. To be able to like stand back and looking like on the post and just like kind of like just like people watching. I'm so good at that. Yeah. Last card, Spirit. 7 of Swords, making a steal for it. Clarifier, Spirit, for me on that one. 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, there's no dispute on that. Like, that's a home run, basically. Again, that's what the implication is there. The foreboding of it. Like, who's going to dispute any of this for real? Like, it's actual. Everybody knows the truth, exactly how I laid it out. And it's 100%. Like, I don't... So, this thing that I have to go through, I'm going to take this on as a learning experience. And the whole thing about gaining confidence and exhibiting it, with real life stuff that happens, that like has no bias. Like it can happen to just about anyone, regardless of how much money you have in your pocket or what you do for a living. It's like, it's gonna be a learning process. And I can do that. I don't know why I'm stressing over it. I don't know why. I don't even want to use that word. I don't even know if I really am, but obviously I am if I can't go to sleep. I tried. I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna show up. And even though I'm probably gonna have to do this thing on my phone, then I'm gonna do it on my phone rather than a laptop. But I do what I have on resources. And I'm gonna go now, okay? Alright. Okay. I feel like there's something else, so the camera on Tara. Okay. What you got? Okay, these two. Oh my gosh, it's the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is good. Because, let's skedaddle. That's what they're saying. That's the absolute truth. It's getting yourself out of being stuck. This is movement. This is traction, the learning process in itself. So maybe like it feels like my soul is feeling like, oh, this is the first day of work. This is the first day of a new job. This is the first day of like, you know, like this big thing. Maybe my soul is super excited to move on, whatever that means. I think so. Okay. So, thank you to all my sponsors of Light and Love in every which way that you do that, especially in its direct form of kinship. Thank you for respecting my time, my space, my energy, my work, my health and wellness, and that of my children's. So upon closing all portals, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due. Assisting with that sequence of rollout. Oh, I forgot to tap. In Light and Love, I close all portals. Now.